What is going on, guys? It's Nick from Surfcast and the Island back at you with another video. Today's topic of discussion is going to be an appreciation post. Shout out to Cal Harbor Bait and Tackle located in Northport. Historically, they've been the guys I've been going to have my rod builds, and they've been flawless. There's no other single one word that I could come up with to describe the amount of work, extensive work, detailed work that they put into rods, from the diamond wrapping to the guide layout, the wrappings on the guides, the grips themselves, so on and so forth. You guys get the idea. Historically speaking, they've taken very good care of me over the past couple seasons, getting something in my hand that not only looks great aesthetically, especially the rods I'm going to get into, but also performs and feels great in my hand. Because many other people have said it, I'll say it again for the people in the back, but a rod and your outfit, your rod and reel outfit for that matter, is more or less nothing more, nothing less than an extension of your body. So if you had your hand in the water or part of your body in the water, that's pretty much what the rod is. If you're not feeling what's on the end of your line, or that type of deal, no contact equals no fish for that matter. But that's a different talk. We're gonna jump right into it on these two rods. They're very special rods, so stay tuned, guys. Okay, so before I continue any further with this video, there's two remarks I want to mention. So other than obviously the person who was responsible for building the rod and assisting me along with his son, shout out to Mark McGowan as well as Phil McGowan over at Cal Harbor that built the rods for me, helped me write up the invoice of exactly what I wanted. But even beyond them, two more honorable mentions. Shout out to Jose as well as Mike over at Saltwaters for supplying these rods. If you guys don't know, Saltwater's Bait and Tackle, located in Islip, all your surf fishing needs. They're they are a flagship store for ODM blanks. If you guys are interested, they're pretty much the center carriers of many blanks and different designs. Whatever you want, they got it. If they don't got it, they'll order it for you. It's that simple. Also, shout out to Don over at ODM Prostaff. He was the one that notified me and let me know ahead of the game these rods were going to drop. In terms of the rods themselves, these are the ODM Evolutions. If you guys aren't familiar with them, they're pretty much their top of the line model. You have other ones, the next one, the DNA, the Genesis, the Frontier X. They are most notable for their evolutions. Probably one of the most popular blank series that has dropped in recent years. But yeah, so let me get into the details of the rods I have here. So stay tuned. Alrighty, so not that it overly matters, but I'm just gonna go in this sequence from length of the rod, smallest to largest. The first rod behind me that I'm gonna pick up, this is the ODM limited edition gold 9-foot Evolution. The way I wanted to lay this rod out color-wise, as you can see, you got the baby blue along the threading of the reel seat. Integrated into the diamond wrap, you also have this baby Carolina blue, whatever you want to call it, threading. Threading the outline of the diamond wrap, interwoven with a chrome gunmetal silver, exposing the gold diamonds as well as the offset. And man, I could not be happier with how this threading came out. As we go along the wrapping of the guide section, your standard same color as the outlining. I wanted a dominant blue. I feel like the Carolina blue would pop on the gold itself, and you know, to the pleasure of my eye, it does very well, exceptionally well. Paired these with double foot titanium chrome Fuji guides. Gives it a nice little pop as well, as you guys can see there. Very, very nice. Yeah, I just love this layout. In terms of the gripping, there's other types of designs, have you will, that being Paco style, cork style. There's a whole different array and variations of what would suit or be suitable to said surfcaster. I just really like the paracord jack wrap. That's what this is. This is the interwoven X's, almost a rope design. Very, very comfortable in the hand. Minimizes slipping or slippage, especially when your hand gets wet. As well as the guides, there's different options for guides. I forgot to mention that. Color-wise, that type of deal. Black, graphite gray, or smoke gray, as well as black. But I never done titanium chrome before. It's gonna look beautiful because I plan on putting a VSX2 100 silver on this, so that offset with the dominant color is gonna look great. In terms of the specs on this rod, I believe it's rated 1/2 to 4 ounce. On paper, this is a very, very wide array, in my opinion. I have an original ODM Evo, which is the chameleon green color, if you guys are familiar. If not, look at some of my previous videos in my channel description. But again, the only thing I changed with this rod is the color. Specs, retail price, all that remains the same. 1/2 to 4, like I said though, circling back to that, that's very, very wide. The lower end of the spectrum, I'd get away with 3/4, maybe a 1/2 ounce. I wouldn't go anything heavier than, like, I'd say 2. On my original 9-foot that I would throw, I wouldn't throw anything typically over an ounce, ounce and 3/4. The application for this rod, mainly open beach settings, a lot of North Shore, Back Bay, even South Shore, Back Bay applications. Excellent, excellent. This rod is fully capable of throwing many of your minnow plugs, SPs, hydros, crystals, mag daughters are great, little swimming plugs, swim baits, bucktails. That's what this rod really shines for, those school class up to 15, 20 pound fish at most. Anything bigger than that, I'm bringing the bigger stuff out. Not that this rod can't handle that, but just as a comfort thing, mentally. The action on this rod, it's funny. It's rated as a moderate. Definitely doesn't feel like a moderate in the hand. It seems somewhere along the spectrum between a moderate and a moderate fast, in my opinion. It does have a soft spot, but it does eventually come to a backbone. I wouldn't give it a true moderate because it does have a, an okay amount of backbone. The rod's not a hot dog, but it can stop larger fish if it had to. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this rod. This would be, early spring for me, late fall, when the fish are, a little smaller, up to 15, 20 pounds would be ideal for this setup. So that pretty much covers me with this rod. I'm going to get into my second build. All right, so second rod, 2 of 2 that I'm gonna get into is the 10-foot ODM gold limited rod. Same color scheme I went with, more or less, that I had with the 9-footer. Came out beautiful, as always. There you got the paracord Jap wrap, which I adore. With your baby blue threading as the outside pattern, and the same thing, the inner gold diamonds interwoven through that chrome gray as well as the baby blue. Getting on to the same, you know, one of the same color scheme to have as a pair for setups. You have the titanium chrome guides outlined with the baby blue wrapping, double wraps, of course, all the way to the tip of the rod. Now, the rating on this rod I'll get into is 3/4 to 5. Again, just like the 1/2 to 4. In my opinion, that's a very wide array for a rod spectrum of what it's capable of throwing. In my opinion, the lower end of the spectrum, as I discussed with the previous build, yes, you could definitely most certainly get away with the smaller side. Typically haven't gone anything lower than an ounce though. You could probably get away with 3/4 ounce as it is rated. The top end of the spectrum being 5 ounces, I feel is kind of wacky. I would definitely not be comfortable throwing 5 on this rod, even though it's marketed. Personally, for me throwing this rod, I wouldn't throw anything over, I'd say 3 ounces for that matter, maybe 3.5, but there's not many things I carry in my bag based upon where I fish that would warrant me to throw something of that size. In terms of what I would throw on this rod, it's my South Shore Beach rod. It's going to be a lot of bigger plugs. Metal lips, daughters, bottle plugs, needlefish, of course. Those oversized mag darters, bucktails, oversized rubber shads, pencil poppers, any other type of top water, any type of wake bait or surface bait, this rod can handle it. All those baits more or less range in the area, I would say conservatively, of ounce, ounce and a quarter, all the way up to most of them being 2 3/8 to 2 3/4. You're not really going to see me throw much over that. Which brings me to my second point. This is not a rod, or this is not a line of rods I would recommend for the jetty. Not enough backbone to really stop a fish from high up on the rocks. Great for sweeping current in, you know, open beach settings. Back bay settings, of course, but really putting torque and trying to flip a fish, I don't think it has that much power. And would I want to risk breaking a limited edition rod where there's limited stock and something that's very nice, not only performance wise but appealing to the eye? Probably not. And that's just me. Everyone's different, you know. Some people just want one rod they could go and do everything everywhere with. I would not recommend this. I may make a video down the line regarding other rods I would recommend as, you know, a Swiss Army blade that one size fits all, but that is one place that this rod would not shine. I would not recommend it for high-lying rocks in Montauk, or if you're fishing Shinnecock or Mauritius, or any big funneling channel of water between, you know, two bodies of land. But yeah, this is a really nice South Shore open beach setup. I got to use it plenty so this fall. Anyone who read the article of me featured, shout out to On the Water magazine and Matt over at On the Water. that was Thanksgiving Day. I used this rod, really got to break in this rod on some serious fish up to, you know, just shy of 20 pounds, which is nice for November 28th, that late. That's late in the season to get fish that of quality, but the bunker stayed around, and that's really what fueled those nicer sized fish to come in. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna cover me for this video. If you guys have any questions, one thing I would like to mention as well, two things to wrap this video up. Number one, just like I mentioned in my Von Stahl videos, I am not sponsored. I don't have any endorsements, no behind door interests with this company as of now. So whatever I say and whatever comes out of my mouth is from pure experience, and I have nothing to benefit from telling you that these rods and this line of rods, excuse me, is great for your open beach and back bay applications. Mention number two, this rod in particular, if you're looking for the Gold Evolution, hit up Saltwaters, like I said, in Islip. They may or may not have, unfortunately, in said sizes. The 9 and 10 tended to run out pretty quick from when I spoke to Mike and Jose over there. As far as any other shops that may have these in stock, you may have a shot. I peeped Grumpy's Tackle in New Jersey. They had a couple in stock that were pre-built. I don't know if they have any blanks, but either Saltwaters or Grumpy's in Jersey are probably your best bets at finding this particular blank. If not, you go with the original Evolution. But that's pretty much it. I'll end the video on that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Nick from Surfcasting Island. If you have any other questions, please leave a comment in the comment section or reach out to me personally, DM through Instagram. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.